Now, one company that has been building out their geospatial infrastructure for a number of years is BP. In fact, we've had BP join us at PUG before to share that journey, to share how their efforts of using people and process and the effective use of technology and how they support the business. So what I'd like to do today is invite Stephen Bjerring from BP to give us an update on that journey. So Stephen, hope you're there and joining us in from London. Appreciate you joining us in today and taking the time.
Absolutely, yeah. Hi, Dal. Happy to be here. Excited to speak to everyone. It's a shame we can't do it in person, but we'll make the most of it.
Absolutely, Stephen. I can't wait. I would much rather be on the stage with you in Houston and the George R. Brown. Like you say, we got to make do. We'll do this video thing and have a conversation. So, Stephen, I think what I'd like to start out the most obvious place. I talked about GIS deepening and broadening across the enterprise, and this journey and conversation that we have, and the things that you were doing at BP. Can you kind of update us on that journey and where you're at?
Of course, Dal. Yeah. So geospatial's been around in BP for a long while, like in most oil and gas majors. So our enterprise journey, though, it began in one of our regions, so Lower 48 in 2014. So the value and success was recognized within that region, and at that point, we actually rolled the solution out across a whole upstream in 2015. So this deployment involves desktop, server, and portal components. As you can see on the graphic here, the platforms continued to grow as we've added more functional portals dictated by business demand in a number of different areas. Probably what's most impressive, though, is our growing user base. So you can see along the top of the graphic, it's almost doubled since 2018 when it was 13,000 people, up to 25,000 today, with almost 500 people moving through the platform every day. So we're continuously improving the platform, and we conduct one minor and one major update per year. And our biggest move in the last year has been the migration to the cloud, which has been an immense exercise. Um, as you can probably tell from the sheer number and volume of data and services along the left of the first graphic. The cloud move in particular has opened an exciting new chapter for us as we've realized huge value from a number of tools, mobile tools in particular.
Stephen, I'm looking at this graphic, and it's really impressive from 2018 to where you are today. And I think about, as I talked earlier, not only deepening and broadening across the organization, but growing and diversifying. And I think it's reflective in your graphics here and your user base. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely, yeah. An important point to make is that our user base has evolved as the platform's evolved. So at this point, we're reaching almost all parts of the business, and the platform approach has really accelerated that. As you can see again on the bottom right, almost half our user base is now from outside upstream. So while we continue to innovate in our more traditional areas like operations, subsurface, major projects and response, we're starting to do a large amount in the retail space, EV charging, and our new reinvent BP model is beginning to accelerate even further as we move towards our net zero ambitions and into renewables and other vectors. I'm also sure many of you have heard about our successful offshore wind bid in the Irish Sea recently, where our geospatial platform was the critical tool in the application process, as we had multiple BP teams working on the platform, as well as the external joint venture partner. So they're all working off the same set of information, which was really powerful.
Stephen, it's still just amazing to me how many people you support in your organization. You talked about it's up to 25,000 users of the system today of the platform. One thing I think is important probably for the community, because they all want to make access available to their organizations. What are some of the lessons learned along the way that you can share with the audience?
Probably the biggest one, Dale, is just listening to the users. So our users really do come from across the whole spectrum. So we have those people that just want the answer presented to them. So that's where our team of geospatial experts provide support to run analytics, develop geospatial products and solutions. And then there's another type of user who like to get extremely hands-on. And another important lesson we found early on was to promote open data access and keep the platform extremely open. So the second type of user, or citizen developers as we coin them, they have all the tools available to push the limits of the platform all on their own.
This concept, Stephen, of citizen developer, I heard you mention it's opening up access to the data, opening up access to the tools. Can you tell us a little bit more about who is a citizen developer and how do you guys support them?
Absolutely, yeah. So we're always going to have our gold standard checked and verified data that we manage and promote as professionals, but we also let these users create and publish their own data sets and create solutions themselves. So really true citizen developers. We do tie them to some general rules, as you're seeing on the graphic. In terms of tools, they have access to the whole suite, so the ability to publish services, configure dashboards, configure the mobile tools, and all the other extensions that do come with the platform. And this approach has really created a wave of innovation, and you're going to see a great example of this in action with our Gelsenkirchen refinery team, who are going to be presenting later on in the conference.
Awesome. That's awesome, Stephen. I mean, it truly is. One of the things that I heard you mention as well, and I want to dig into a little bit deeper, is not only give them access to data, but tools. And that, in my head, I think about technology. Can you maybe touch on the technology that you may be integrating with, or they're having access to, and then also what's setting you up for the future?
Absolutely. So, I mean, location is just becoming more and more critical to the BP business. So, and with that, our workflows have evolved. So, at this point, we're ingesting almost every data type, and OneMap has really become one of BP's strategic data platforms. And with this, we're seeing tighter and tighter integration and of location solutions with our other key data platforms. And this really feeds into the wider BP data strategy, as you can see from the graphic above as well. Um, you mentioned the future. I mean, we constantly have to have one eye on the future. So our workflows have really modernized, and we're really starting to push the technology to meet all the demand that we're seeing. So we're going all in with real time and velocity. We're starting to do a lot in the imagery and imagery analytics space. We're seeing a huge value add there. We're starting to do a lot with geodata science workflows, AI, ML, and we're really starting excited about Kubernetes, which is coming at 10.9.1. And I suppose I'd wrap up, Dell. I mean, really excited about all of this. Excited to have Esri keep supporting us on this journey with all of the expertise that you have ready and on the bench for us. So yeah, wanted to finish by saying a big thank you to you guys and the wider Esri team.
Well, thank you, Stephen. Don't run away just yet, because being virtual, right, it's a little bit more difficult. I know if we were in Houston and George R. Brown right now, you'd be getting a big round of applause. I'm gonna give you a quick one here. I really appreciate you joining in from London today, Stephen, taking time out of your day. I think it's valuable to continue to share with the community. You guys have the journey you've been on, and it's clear, right? The number of users you're supporting in your organization and the diversity of user base now is truly impressive. So thank you again, Stephen. Really appreciate it.